Hi everybody, my name is Ethan. This is my daughter Scarlett. Today we are debuting our first video together on our channel, Rewrites. It's where we talk about movies, stories, and we criticize things we didn't like, we celebrate things we did like, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
So let's get to it.
Alright. So today we are actually going to talk about 3 of Scarlett's favorite stories, shows, however you want to phrase that. Scarlett, do you want to tell us which 3 we're going to be talking about?
Yes. The first one, Every Which Way. The second one, Thundermans. The third one, Harry Potter.
Okay, so today we are going to be comparing the magic systems set in place in Every Which Way and the Thundermans, both of which are Nickelodeon TV shows, and Harry Potter. And we're going to talk a little bit about how they're different, and we're going to try and decide what we can do just to make it a little bit better for each one. So Scarlett, what I want you to do is, can you tell us how magic works in Every Which Way?
Well, you have, like, with your fingers, you can go like this, but your sentences have to rhyme.
Okay.
So, it's one reason. And sometimes your spells can go wrong.
Okay. So you have to think of your own rhyme, or do they have rhymes that they learn and memorize?
Wait, what?
Do they have to think of their own rhymes when they're casting a spell? Or do they have rhymes that they can go and learn like in a spell book?
Well, they have a thing called a hexagon, and there's only one of them. So it has lots of spells in it.
Okay. But they can make up their own spells as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. But the bottom line is that it has to rhyme.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so the Thundermans doesn't really have magic per se, but the characters have superpowers. So for the sake of this video, we're going to count that as a magic system. Can you tell me how the magic system in the Thundermans works?
Well, you each get a superpower.
Okay.
So, like, the dad has super strength, the mom has electricity, the big brother has telekinesis, freeze breath, and heat breath. So does the big sister. And the little sister has laser eyes, and the little brother has super speed, and the littlest sister has teleportation.
Okay. So they're all in the same family, so it's a mom, dad, and a bunch of kids. And then the grandparents have powers too, right?
You're right.
So, but within the family, each power they get is random, so it's not based on what their parents have. So since the dad has super strength, you might think that the kids would have super strength, but do any of the kids have super strength?
No.
Okay, so it's completely random. And do they kind of explain at all how that works in the show?
No, they don't, but one kid almost had super strength.
Okay, so they were kind of hinting toward that, but it didn't really happen.
Or super screen.
Right. Okay, so in Harry Potter, can you describe how the magic works in Harry Potter?
You each get a wand.
Right.
And here's a magic spell.
Okay.
Expecto Patronum.
And that's the one that keeps the Dementors away.
Yes.
Okay. Great. And so in Harry Potter, a witch or a wizard needs a wand in order to perform magic, and they need to know the spell in order to perform the spell. The name of the spell, the magic words for the spell, that sort of thing, right? Okay. So if I was going to ask you, since we're comparing these 3 magic systems, which of these do you think would be the most fun to use?
Honestly, every which ways.
Okay.
Which one would you like?
I think using the Harry Potter style of magic would be, it kind of opens up more opportunities per se, because you have a very large number of spells you can learn. Like in the books we see there are housekeeping spells, there are healing spells, there are defensive spells, attacking spells. There's a spell for every occasion. You just have to learn them all and be able to remember what the word is, what the wand motion is. I think for every which way it would be kind of hard to come up with rhymes, and since there's only one spell book, it's hard to get your hands on the spell book. I think that's part of the show, is that they all kind of fight over the spell book.
They do.
And then in the Thundermans, it'd be cool to have just a power that you can use whenever. Like, if I had mind reading, it'd be cool to just be able to read minds whenever. But what if you get a power you don't want?
Powers I wish I had was mind reading, telekinesis, and teleportation.
Okay, cool.
If you're wondering what telekinesis is, it's things you move with your brain.
Right. So you're able to move things without touching them. Okay, very cool. And so we want to look at what are some of the things we could do to maybe make the magic system a bit better. So in every which way, can you think of anything we could rewrite into the story to make their magic system a little bit more enjoyable?
Well, I want to say there could be one reason why there could be a new way.
Okay.
Maybe you could just give every person with a superpower a spell book, or you could just have all the spells in your head and never forget them. That could be another superpower you have.
Okay. Well, you have to be careful with that, because if everybody had all the magic in their head always, it would make the story a little hard to write, because everybody would be so powerful. You need to create room in your story for your characters to have flaws and to have weaknesses and to struggle. And that's something I think that each of these magic systems each of these magic systems do well. Every which way makes it challenging because there's only one spell book, and you can get your spells wrong. They can act differently from what you expect. They have to rhyme. In the Thundermans, you only have one certain thing you can do, or in the case of some characters, 2 or 3 things. But if you don't have super speed and you need to go super fast, you can't do it. So that creates that room for characters to struggle. And of course in Harry Potter, you have to know the spell. You have to have your wand, that sort of thing. It creates that room for struggle. So I think
every which way, what you can do is you can make your ear big so you can hear better. You can teleport yourself. You can super speed yourself. You can do a lot of things.
Okay. So if we were going to look at a way we could rewrite the Thundermans to make their magic system a little bit better, what do you think we could do?
Well, I think I think it's not fair for the oldest siblings to have more than one superpower. So I think everyone should have more superpowers if they're going to have one.
Okay.
Because they can't do any more except for, sometimes you might get tired of laser eyes, or you might get tired of super strength.
Right. Okay, so you think it'd be cool to write in a way for your magic powers to be changed, or to add more? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if we could look at Harry Potter now, if we rewrote Harry Potter, is there a way that you could make the magic system a little bit better?
Well, I'm going to let my lovely daughter's dad explain that.
Okay. Right, I have to explain it now. So let's see, if I was going to make the magic system in Harry Potter better, I would make it a bit more consistent. And this is probably a running issue people have already talked about, is that there's things that happen in book 1 that could easily be solved by the magic we see in book 7, but it doesn't show up in book 1, and we're not really sure why. So I know it's a little difficult to keep your magic system that tight throughout 7 novels that are all that long. But that would be my big thing, is finding a way to make it a bit more cohesive throughout the series. And that, the struggle with that is you grow as a writer as you're writing that much, and you want to add in things, you want to create this really immersive story that's growing as your story grows, but you have to, in some way, from the beginning, know how big your magic is. You have to know the map of your magic, if you will. And you have to know that going in so that you don't have these weird plot holes showing up after your series is over. Am I losing you here?
No.
Okay. Alright, so we've talked about which magic system you think is most fun. We've talked about a way to, in our opinion, make each magic system a little bit better. And we've kind of explored how each magic system works. Is there anything else you wanted to say about this?
Well, I wanted to say that Harry Potter could use maybe like, since the whole school has wands, I think there should be a room with a humongous book of spells.
Okay, but they all kind of have spell books already. When they go to school, that's one of the school books that they have to get.
Oh yeah.
And they can all go to the library, and the library has a bunch of spell books in there that they can all use. But I do think one big spell book would be pretty awesome. Like one giant spell book. That'd be pretty cool. Sounds like something Dumbledore would have in his office.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I think that's it for today. We are going to close with a question of the day. We talked about this earlier. Scarlett, do you want to ask the question?
Yes. If you were to go to a doctor's office,
right,
and you went there to get superpowers, how much money would you spend on it?
Right. So if you could buy superpowers, how much money would you be willing to spend, and what superpower would you buy? Now, for the sake of this, let's say you can only buy one. Which one would you buy, and how much would you be willing to spend?
And there's something else that I'd like to say to you guys. Subscribe, comment down below, give us a big, humongous thumbs up.
Alrighty, thanks everybody.
Thank you for watching our first video.